Avengers were never designed to stay the same. From the very first issue in 1963, the team was built on instability. Not chaos, but evolution. The Avengers were never meant to be a fixed lineup like a band with permanent members. They were an idea, a response mechanism, a gathering of extraordinary individuals when the world faced something no single hero could handle alone. The team was fluid from the start. It began with 5: Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Ant-Man, Wasp. Tony Stark was the futurist industrialist, a man of ego and genius who built armor not just to protect the world, but to protect himself from it. Thor Odinson was a god learning humility among mortals, wielding power that reshaped skies and shattered mountains. Bruce Banner was a tragic scientist cursed with gamma radiation that turned fear into fury and intellect into something more primal. Hank Pym was a brilliant innovator, capable of manipulating size itself, though emotionally fragile and often his own worst enemy. Jane Van Dyne, frequently underestimated in early comics, was far more than a supporting player. She named the Avengers, funded operations, and often provided the emotional balance that held the team together. They assembled to stop Loki, and by issue 2, Hulk was gone. The early exit mattered. It established something fundamental. The Avengers weren't permanent, membership wasn't sacred, heroes would come and go. The symbol would endure. Then came the man who would define the Avengers for generations: Captain America. Pulled from the ice in Avengers number 4, Steve Rogers entered a future he didn't recognize. He wasn't one of the founding 5, but he quickly became the team's moral compass. Where Stark brought ego and innovation, and Thor brought myth and might, Rogers brought discipline, strategy, and sacrifice. He represented the idea that heroism wasn't about power, it was about responsibility. Then came the first major transformation. Iron Man, Thor, Giant Man, and Wasp stepped down. Cap stood alone. In their place came former villains: Hawkeye, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch. Cap's Kooky Quartet. This wasn't just a lineup change, it was a philosophical change. The Avengers became a place for redemption. Hawkeye had been a criminal manipulated by the wrong influences. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch had served Magneto. Now they were being given a second chance. That theme, that anyone could become an Avenger if they chose the right path, would define decades of storytelling. As the 1960s rolled forward, the roster expanded in complexity. Black Panther joined, and with him came Wakanda. For the first time, the Avengers had a king among them. T'Challa wasn't just a superhero, he was a sovereign ruler with political responsibilities. His presence grounded the team in global stakes. Vision followed soon after, created by Ultron, designed as a weapon, yet infused with humanity. Vision's struggle to understand what it meant to be alive became one of the most profound arcs in Avengers history. His relationship with Scarlet Witch blurred the line between machine and soul. Black Widow transitioned fully from espionage antagonist to trusted Avenger. Hercules added Olympian force and bravado. Black Knight introduced mystical heritage and cursed steel. Wonder Man became raw ionic power wrapped in insecurity and ego. Falcon stood beside Captain America as a partner, symbolizing growth and inclusion. And by the 1970s, the Avengers were no longer just a defensive squad. They were a rotating symbol of heroism. Beast crossed over from the X-Men, bringing wit and science. Mantis arrived carrying celestial destiny. Moondragon brought psychic dominance and moral ambiguity. Hellcat bridged street-level heroics with cosmic narratives. And then came the escalation. The Kree-Skrull War forced nearly every Avenger past and present to unite. The conflict stretched beyond Earth. The Avengers were no longer local defenders. They were cosmic participants. The scale of their responsibilities expanded permanently. The 1980s pushed emotional and thematic boundaries even further. She-Hulk joined and did something rare in superhero fiction. She embraced her transformation. Jennifer Walters wasn't cursed by gamma radiation the way Bruce Banner was. She accepted it, thrived in it, and became one of the team's most stable members. Monica Rambeau, operating as Captain Marvel, became one of the Avengers' most powerful leaders. Her command style was steady, calculated, and deeply respected. Namor, the submariner, aligned himself with the team officially, though his loyalties always carried the weight of Atlantis. Star Fox, an Eternal, added cosmic lineage and moral complication. Quasar wielded the quantum bands, tying the Avengers directly to universal-scale responsibilities. Then, the team expanded geographically. The West Coast Avengers formed. Led by Hawkeye, this branch introduced Mockingbird, tactical and sharp, War Machine, James Rhodes stepping out of Iron Man's shadow, Tigra, fierce and mystical, US Agent, a harsher interpretation of Captain America, Moon Knight, unstable yet devastatingly capable, The Thing, temporarily joining from the Fantastic Four. For the first time, the Avengers weren't a single squad, they were an institution with branches. The 1990s destabilized that institution. Memberships rotated rapidly. Justice and Firestorm transitioned from the New Warriors. Cersei of the Eternals joined, bringing immortality and volatile emotion. Gilgamesh served briefly. The original Human Torch, Jim Hammond, returned to active duty. Spider-Man even had a short-lived early membership before being told he wasn't ready. Then came Avengers Disassembled. Scarlet Witch's grief fractured reality itself. Hawkeye died. Vision was destroyed. Scott Lang, the second Ant-Man, was killed. Avengers Mansion was obliterated. The team disbanded, but the Avengers always return. In 2005, the New Avengers formed, and this was a radical reinvention. Captain America and Iron Man recruited, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Luke Cage, Spider-Woman, Sentry. And for the first time, street-level heroes and moral complex anti-heroes stood alongside legacy icons. The Avengers were no longer just symbols of tradition, they were modern. Then, Civil War shattered unity again. The Superhero Registration Act divided the hero community. Iron Man led the pro-registration faction. Captain America led the resistance. Two Avengers teams emerged. The Mighty Avengers aligned with Stark. The underground New Avengers, led by Luke Cage, operated outside government control. After Steve Rogers' assassination, Bucky Barnes became Captain America, proving the symbol was stronger than the man. Then, Secret Invasion exposed that Spider-Woman had been replaced by a Skrull. Trust eroded. Norman Osborn formed the Dark Avengers, presenting villains as heroes. Bullseye posed as Hawkeye, Venom posed as Spider-Man, Daken posed as Wolverine, Moonstone posed as Miss Marvel. Osborn himself became the Iron Patriot. The Avengers name became propaganda. In 2010, the Secret Avengers formed under Steve Rogers as a covert Black Ops team. The Uncanny Avengers merged Avengers and X-Men, symbolizing unity across divisions. The Young Avengers rose with Wiccan, Hulkling, Kate Bishop, Patriot, and others, unofficial but spiritually connected. The Great Lakes Avengers gained brief recognition. The US Avengers formed under Sunspot. The Savage Avengers brought together Conan, Venom, and Punisher into brutal missions. Meanwhile, the core lineup kept evolving. Black Panther led. Captain Marvel became a central powerhouse. Doctor Strange brought mystical authority. Ghost Rider added supernatural intensity. Blade represented darker edges. She-Hulk returned repeatedly. Thor's mantle passed to Jane Foster. Sam Wilson became Captain America. Miles Morales participated in multiversal crises. Shang-Chi joined with Discipline Mastery. Valkyrie carried Asgardian legacy. Nova, Hyperion, and even Squirrel Girl stood among them. Across decades, the Avengers have included gods, mutants, aliens, androids, kings, soldiers, scientists, spies, billionaires, sorcerers, and teenagers. Some lasted a single issue. Some lasted generations. Some were villains first. Some inherited mantles, but all of them answered the call. The Avengers aren't defined by permanence. They're defined by response. When Loki attacks, when Ultron rises, when Thanos invades, when universes collide, the roster shifts. The mission remains. From Iron Man to Thor, from Captain America to Black Panther, from Scarlet Witch to Captain Marvel, from Vision to Spider-Man, from Hawkeye to Wolverine. The Avengers have never belonged to one era. They assembled when needed. They fracture under pressure. They return stronger. And somewhere right now, a future Avenger hasn't even debuted yet, because the roster is never finished. It never will be.